Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. We have some news, so let's get to it. The very first thing I want to tell you guys about is actually the next GR Toys release. This information was brought to my attention thanks to Paleo Nerd, who has been a pretty darn good supplier of news in the last few videos, so a huge thank you and shout out goes out to them. But as far as which species we will be getting from GR Toys, it is actually going to be a Dicriosaurus, and it honestly looks unbelievable if you ask me. It is another species that I'm really psyched to see actually getting a figure, because it's one that honestly I don't think we have very many, if any, of. And as per usual, I think GR Toys has done an incredible job on this. I love the fact that they're continuing to go with two different color schemes on each of their figures, giving people some options as far as what type of an appearance you would like for your figure to have, and they continuously release paint schemes that I feel like are very natural overall on the figures, and again, that's exactly what I see here. Absolutely gorgeous looking as far as both of these go, and definitely two must-haves if you ask me, because I'm starting to think that's the entire GR Toys line. It's all going to be must-haves, because every single one so far has been exactly that, and these two are definitely no different at all. I also wanted to let you guys know that as far as Dino Hazard goes, if you happen to see my Irritator review I did of their initial release, they have actually opened up international sales on their website. So if you've been kind of on the hunt for this figure or just waiting it out until it's available for you to purchase, it is now officially available as far as international purchases go on their website. So make sure you check the description and head on over there, order yourself this gorgeous Irritator figure. Trust me, you would not in a million years regret it. It is beautiful beyond belief, and easily one of the most impressive initial figures from any company ever. Also, as far as Rod's random work, he has been kind of messing with a few of his figures, giving them a little bit of new life, I would say, and you can see that as far as his baby dinosaurs go, he's recently created a batch with an amber-like appearance, which I thought was a really cool idea, and man, do they look incredible with that amber coloration to them. They honestly look insanely appealing with this type of an appearance to them. I would love to get my hands on some of these because they just look so incredibly cool. And he's actually created a clear Compsognathus as well, which I thought was also a pretty darn cool idea overall. Definitely a very interesting and unique take for the Compsognathus as far as the appearance goes, and I really like that he's creating kind of like your average type of a model where you can paint it, and then also these kind of alternate variants with different types of like clear color schemes, amber color schemes. Really cool stuff as usual coming from Rod's random work. Make sure you check out his Instagram to follow his updates and stay updated on everything that he is creating. And then as far as PNSO goes, they just unveiled a beautiful figure on us. One of the nicest figures that has come along in a very long time. They are going to be releasing a Carcharodontosaurus, and man, does it look incredible. PNSO has honestly been giving us some of the best figures that we could possibly ask for, and some of the best figures that I've ever seen in my entire life, and that goes through the entire course of my collecting history. The figures that they have been producing over the last few months have been some of the best dinosaur figures of all time, if you ask me, and this Carcharodontosaurus is yet another perfect example of that. Potentially the nicest Carcharodontosaurus I've ever seen. GR Toys one may have something to say about that, but we'll just have to wait and see when that one actually releases. And speaking of releases, as far as this one goes, this one will not be released for quite some time. Normally when we see the images of the PNSO figure, they start to show up in the Amazon PNSO store about a week later or so, if that, maybe even that day. But unfortunately, this one will not be releasing until the summer. I believe actually June is when this one will officially see the light of day. So we have a little bit of a wait ahead of us for this Carcharodontosaurus to come out, but I am definitely picking this one up. This thing is incredible. And then as far as Mattel goes, and that would be a look at two newer Velociraptors coming from Mattel in package. We have this very cool, almost like a tiger-like raptor coming from Mattel, and it's nice to see it in box. That of course means that it is coming hopefully in the near future. And then we also have this really interesting kind of a reddish repainted raptor with the green on it. Definitely a very cool look. I actually love the fact that the paint runs so far out onto the tail. Not a super huge fan of the paint scheme on it, but I of course will pick it up when it does officially start to hit stores. So definitely two cool raptors coming from Mattel. And speaking of raptors, there was actually another raptor that was just unveiled by Collect Jurassic that will be coming very soon, and it will be part of the Fierce Force assortment. and it's actually kind of resculpted. It's a very interesting new looking Velociraptor from Mattel. I actually am quite interested in this figure and seeing more images of it in the near future. I love the fact that there's, paint all the way out onto the tail on this one as well, but it definitely appears that there's some really cool newly sculpted aspects to the figure, and we can see that it has that kind of jumping raptor style head, that more JP3 type of a look to the head sculpt of the Velociraptor. So it's nice to see that actually used on a different style of a raptor as well. And we have quite a bit, again, newly sculpted on the figure, including the arms and hands and stuff. They definitely look really cool as well. So I'm really interested to find out more about this raptor as more news comes out. And we also have a look at the newest versions of the Snap Squads that will be coming from Mattel at some point in the future, with quite a few new figures included. Again, this is thanks to Collect Jurassic, and you can see some very interesting looking figures in here, and definitely some grumpy new looks to the figures as well. I really like that grumpy look there to that one raptor. But my favorite, and it seems to be Collect Jurassic's favorite as well, is unquestionably that Stegosaurus right there, because he is just so mellow and so ridiculously awesome looking as far as the way that they've painted the eye and just the overall appearance to the head. Like, he looks like he is the coolest Stegosaurus to ever hit the Jurassic period or Jurassic Park. And again, I absolutely love that figure. Cannot wait to get a hold of that one. But some of the other figures in here are really quite appealing as well, and I'm definitely psyched in general to see something new as far as the Snap Squads go, and some really cool looking figures overall. This image of the brand new Extreme Damage Tyrannosaurus Rex, and it was actually found, I believe, in Las Vegas at a Walmart, so that means it's starting to show up in the United States already. Definitely really cool looking. I actually quite love the paint scheme on it, and definitely interested in seeing this figure in person. It has some pretty cool looking battle damage as well, so that's a quite exciting aspect to it. We've had plenty of Tyrannosaurs from Mattel so far, but it's nice to see something that's a little bit different as far as like a T-Rex goes, not just a straight up repaint, as we now have this very cool, very similar battle damage, I would say, to the Spinosaurus that had come out, kind of. It's sort of similar to that, but definitely exciting to have a new Rex here actually showing up at Walmart, especially when Walmart has been so dead for so long as far as Mattel stuff goes. So really psyched to see this, and there's also an image here of the barcode for you to search it up in your area and find out if maybe you may be the next one to actually see this figure in store. And we actually have another image from Collect Jurassic showing two of the final Attack Pack figures from Mattel in package that were found, I believe, in Australia, as we have a look at the repainted Coelurus and Proceratosaurus. I'm hoping that these will start to show up in the United States very soon, because I really do want to get a hold of them, especially considering they're the final Attack Packs before they move on to the Wild Pack style of figure. I really do want to get a hold of them, but also because they do look really quite cool overall, and I think both may be some of my favorite versions of these figures overall. And we also have a look at the Dennis Nedry Getaway Pack with some very cool images of the pack in box and everything. And one definite downside to this is the fact that they kind of repainted the Jeep a little bit and missed some of the red paint that should be on the Jeep. That is definitely a little bit of a downside if you ask me, but overall it still looks like a really cool set and something I'm definitely going to be picking up when it does officially show up at my Target, if it ever does, because my Target's pretty bad at actually stocking stuff. But I am psyched to see Dennis Nedry actually getting a more wide release as far as this figure goes compared to the previous exclusive for the Comic-Con exclusive. So it's nice to see it getting another release here, and overall it's awesome to see kind of a story pack, as we don't get very many of those from Mattel. And the final thing as far as Mattel and in general the news for the day goes, we have our very first look at a brand new species entering the Mattel line, and that would be the Masiakasaurus, and it's definitely interesting. It is not accurate as far as that species goes. In fact, there's a pretty big issue with the lower jaw, as the lower jaw kind of like bends outward on the dinosaur, and we don't see that here on the Mattel version. But overall, I still think as far as a Mattel figure goes, it's really quite cool, and I'm definitely excited about it. A pretty cool looking paint scheme, but it's nothing flashy, but I actually really quite love the usage of the green on it. I kind of had to wait on this one a little bit and just debate over how much I liked it or how much I didn't, and although it isn't accurate to what it should be, which Mattel figures never really are, it's definitely a very cool looking figure regardless. I of course would have preferred it to be more accurate as far as the sculpt goes, but when it comes to a Jurassic World dinosaur, you never have to take accuracy into question because they're not full-blown dinosaurs. They are of course hybrids overall, so we can forgive them when it comes to inaccuracies like that, but it definitely would have been better if it had that more accurate lower jaw. But regardless, still a pretty cool looking figure, and either way I'm psyched to see new species entering the Mattel line. So as of right now guys, that's all the news I've got. When more comes out, I'll be sure to send it your way, but until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.